Hello there, and welcome to today. I will say it's Survivor Sunday because, well, it's Sunday and I'm a survivor. So, yes, I love alliteration. So, some people have their own thing. It's just something that makes me happy. Even before my accident, but now even more. I'm like, yes. So, anyways, Paula is feeling better, my wife. That's awesome. But that also means she's off doing all sorts of stuff. She calls catching up with her OCD. It's obsessive cleaning disorder. And I'm like, that's not a disease. But okay. So she's off doing that, and so I guess I'm on my own. And I said I might come back on, but why not? So, I mean, it was supposed to be here anyways. So, Survivor Sunday. This is something I have wanted to do for quite some time because basically I want to reach out and interview people or let them share their story and things like thankfully I did with Nora initially, but I want to get more people on here to show you. I'm like, I'm not the only one. Granted, in the hospital, as I was trying to look up all sorts of stuff on the internet, I mean, I couldn't find anybody, and that was very frustrating to me. Um, but I said, if I get out of here, I'm gonna do it, and here I am. So that reminds me. So what caused me to wait so long to 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 start YouTube was like oh man, I'm such a dork. I'm this, I'm that. Do you hear me? I sound funny. That being said, I find it somewhat hilarious because, well, part of the previous job I did was to go and speak at conventions and teach people how to use computers. And my big thing was I want to start a nonprofit on the side that helps people learn how to code because I did not go to college to study computers or information technology. I mean, sorry, gotta get a drink of water. So I went to what is called a 6-month boot camp. Sorry, I went to a 6-month boot camp to basically kind of teach you how to code, let you have that experience to try and practice. And I believe it's awesome. And I had to go on all this stuff where I'm like, everybody should do it. I'm like, let's see, 4 years or 6 months? 6 months. Because when you go, especially to a technology company, you're going to have to learn their way of doing things anyways. You got to learn, okay, we do this, it's a whole process. So why not kind of know the basics or the structure, the outline, and then go and learn on the job? So it saved a lot of money. So anyway, it's just something that I wholeheartedly agree with, and I think there needs to be more of that. So, so some things that I wanted to say today is because of my accident, things are different. However, that doesn't mean bad. It's just different, I mean, I could even go on to say, actually, never thought I would say this, but I'm like, I feel like my life is better because of my accident. What? Well, basically, I said basically too much. So I was able to move to Peachtree City, Georgia, which basically it has over 100 miles of paved trail. So my important thing is I can get to Starbucks on my own. I can go to the grocery store. I can go to Walmart. I can go around town. I can go to a park. I mean, I can do these things in my golf cart. I can take myself. So it's like, I can take care of myself. So that's awesome, and I would definitely recommend that to anybody who wants something like that. So the doctors told me in the hospital that I was not allowed to drive. Basically what happens I was in California at the time, but when you come into the hospital with a brain injury, your license is automatically revoked. So there was that, and I'm like, gosh, what am I gonna do? Like, and it's hard to think about. Like, if I was in my hometown, which my parents brought me, so I'm thankful. But in order to get things done, you got to drive. You have to drive to the store. You have to drive there, and talking a 36-year-old lesbian. I'm like, I have to ask my parents if they will drive me to Starbucks. What? Yep. And can you take me over to their house? And can you do I'm like, what? So that was a very frustrating thing. I'm thankful my parents were very, very, how do you say, accommodating, and they were always wanting to do for me. But I'm like, dude, y'all are retired. I'm interrupting your retirement party. So I'm thankful that my older sister actually found out about Peachtree City because her husband wanted to be by a major airport so he could fly out for his company, software company. So they found out about this, and April's like, oh man, this would be great for Aubrey. So I'm very thankful they told me about it. It's one of the things I never would have done before. Before, I'd like to say I'm a planner. Nope, I don't prepare. No, it's not. It takes me a while sometimes to get going and do things. And that is something I'm trying to, get better at. But, so it was somewhat unlike me to be like, yep, there, I'm going to do that. And to live on my own, I'm like, I had never done that before. I mean, and tons of people do, and hey, that's cool. It was quite a unique experience, like, to live in my own apartment, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? And so, thankfully, I had got my black lab. She was a little pipe, she was so sweet, but I was able to find an organization to help train her to become a service dog. So she is my service dog, and I'm very thankful for that, and thankful to even learn how to train her, and she is so good. She's loving. But if you have a lab, they're so loving. All right. So, but by moving to Peachtree City, these are things, I mean, I was thinking still my life is over. I mean, what? Who's gonna talk to me like just friends? And I'm like, well, there's no way I'm ever getting married. Nobody's gonna want this. I mean, are you serious? Come on. So, crazy stuff. I think I've told this story before. With the 100 miles paved trail, I was able to take my dog Survivor on walks. I'm like, this is great. No cars driving by. I got it. And I just happened to see this lady pull by in her golf cart. She had a rainbow flag, and I'm like, yeah, I should say something. What am I going to say? Hey, nice flag. I'm like, so what did I do? Let her pass on by. What? And then, funny, about a few days, I see that golf cart at Walmart, and I'm like, oh man, maybe I could say something to her. I didn't see her, and she was gone by the time I got out. Dang it. But then, funny, I went to my first PFLAG meeting, and it was hers as well. And we got there, and I was like, she was like, hey, I saw you. And I'm like, so it just, I say, started this awesome thing. You know, we were able to hang out and do stuff. Like, it was fabulous. And, well, I could go on and on, but I'll try to be good. Just keep it short. But, so, yeah, I could say like that. I am never on time. Oh, in time. Yeah, I'd say never in time. I had kind of gotten better, but it pretty much goes out the window now. I mean, I try, and it was something, how do you say, back in the day. So when I was still at home, like, it was always known the Howells, they're always late. You know, it's more a suggestion. And I think that kind of stems from my father, who's from Honduras and on the island there. And it's funny, they say, island time. Oh man, it's okay. Just whenever. You know, so it's just like, and me, I was like, no, on time. You must be on time. So when I finally got my car, oh yeah, I was on time. But now things are a bit different. And funny, I get distracted. Like, really? Yeah. I get distracted all the time. I mean, I could be looking up, okay, let's check out the news for the day. Oh, Pop. Oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, there goes Strain. Like, it's always like all these things, and I'm like, how do you get anything done? You don't. But that was one thing I did on my, what do you call it, rabbit hole. I went down this morning, was learning about, I don't know if it's productivity, but basically organizing, taking time and writing things down every day. And I'm like, you know what? That's a good idea. I'm going to try to do that. I don't know how successful I'll be, but I'm sure going to try. And so, what is this? Oh, yeah, sorry. So, I think, well, because of this pandemic, I haven't got out. So, I used to go to CrossFit, which I was pumped about. Well, before, when I was in Fort Walton Beach, I went because my sister, my little sister, went, and her, what do you call it, coach went to her church and they talked, and she's like, yeah, bring her own bike. And it was amazing. I loved going there, and obviously I could not do every workout. I could not do everything they did, but I was able to do some things, and I felt like I was getting better. And then I came out here in Peachtree City and found a place, and man, the people were awesome. There's one lady I don't care for, but that's a whole nother story. So, and with everything that's going on, I found out about Flo. Well, Flo, he's awesome. Basically, I'm able to, what do you call it, video conference with him. So I have a personal trainer that I get to work out with 3 times a week, you know, for an hour. And it may sound crazy, but it's awesome. I'm like, how did I not know about this before? This is incredible. And so that's what I'd say to you. If you try it out, it's amazing. And I will say the best therapy I have ever received. because now I can go back to balance and stairs per se. Like, I, well, I could do stairs if there's a railing. Like, my therapist at my third hospital, Gaylord, he was dead set. He's like, all right, I've just got to get it because my apartment in San Francisco was upstairs. And so he's trying to get me ready to go back to that. I never did, but I found that I could do stairs just fine with the railing. I think I told you my first experience kind of meeting my neighbor when we moved in here. And I came out the door and I'm like, oh, hey, and she's saying hi. And there's 2 steps down from my, porch to the sidewalk thing. I fell on my ass. What? So, thankfully, we've kind of remedied that situation. My Apollo called somebody and we got a railing put in. So, that's definitely a good thing. But, like, what a first impression, right? Like, what? So, she was sweet and wanted to make sure I was okay, all that kind of stuff. And some funny-ish story now. And we have rail, so it's okay, but so it's something that's always bugged me. They said, well, in the hospital, doctor said, you got like 18 months, a year and a half. That's probably all the, how do you say, I don't know how much will get better. It's all within 18 months usually. And I'm like, what? So that's quite a blow. But I was like, okay, well, I'm going to keep on going. And so I do believe that was a big reason why I was able to make such fantastic progress, because I was determined. I'm like, I am going to get back to San Francisco. I'm going to get back to my coding job. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get back to normal. So one day isn't what is normal. But anyways, so thankfully I've had to figure out, not it, but just come to terms-ish or something with knowing or accepting or something. Things will never be the same for me. I mean, that was my old life. When people say, oh, this version 2. Actually, so version 1 was, old Aubrey. Then version 2, I lost 160 pounds and became a software engineer. So I'm like, that was version 2. This, I believe, is version 3 now. And, I would say I'm definitely in the process of forming, maybe, and I am, well, sorry, I could go on and on. I'll cut this shorter. But I just know life is a process. No matter what has happened to you, no matter what is happening to you, no matter what will, you have a choice. You can choose how to react. You can choose happiness. That's what I try to do. So you can choose to, hey, go on life support to go on and making life. I mean, getting married, I became a mother, I have a child. Like, it's kind of hard to call her a child, 17, but she's incredible. And my life has not gone the direction I thought it would. It's not how I planned out. But you know what? It's different. And that's okay. It's not bad, it's not worse. It's just different. So, with that, I would say, just go out today and live. Be kind to people. help those in need, and make yourself happy. Self-care, for sure. So, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day. And just know you matter. Your story matters. You belong here. Cheers.